the backfield, pulls it back, end zone, touchdown, Jake Roberts. 11-yard touchdown strike from Jackson Arnold and Jake Roberts.
Hi, this is Robert Wilkins, a.k.a. BasketballTall. Boy, you're in for another treat today because yesterday we were all excited. Because why? College football was in the mix, baby. And the thing about it is we were watching our favorite teams, or lack of, maybe like Roll Tide. But we still like watching them, right? But the thing is, we were all gathered together yesterday on Saturday. You know, whether we were grilling, just socializing, having some beverages, and getting excited and watching college football. And boy, we're going to do a recap, more of a wrap-up of yesterday's events, of our top 25 teams that we all rooted for and that we are hoping, even those that didn't make the top 25, hopefully someday get in that top 25. Why? Because we have a 12-team playoff now. That's also exciting, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So what I'm going to bring to you today, we're going to flash back and look at the scores and maybe inject a few thoughts along the way. So let's get ready and let's root for our favorite teams. And for some of you, you hadn't even watched. You have no idea who won. So I'm going to give all that information to you too. Stick with me, Robert Wilkins, a.k.a. BasketballTall. So not to waste your time, because I know that you're anxious to find out the rest of the scores of the top 25 because, hey, we're all excited and want to know how did the teams do? How did they fare against the competition? And let's start out with number one. We're looking at here Georgia, the number one team in the nation, defeated Tennessee Tech 48-3. Now we have Ohio State, ranked number 2, beat Western Virginia 56-0. Texas, who beat Michigan, the defending champs, 31-12. I must tell you, I watched that ball game, and I was stunned to see Michigan get beat like that at home. And boy, Texas was dominant. From that first quarter on, once they got ahead, they never looked back. They were sharp on offense and defense. I'll tell you what, right now, early in the season, they're a definite favorite to win the national championship. Because Quinn Ewers, man, he looked really good. And defense was sharp. It was almost like I was looking at the old Alabama. But let's move on. Next, we have number 4, Alabama, who beat South Florida 42-16. Roll Tide. Then, of course, number 5, Notre Dame went down to Northern Illinois 16-14. Notre Dame, now that was the big upset of the week. Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois. Who would have thought that? Nobody. Now, you know they're going to drop in the polls. Now, of course, we have Middle Tennessee. They fall to Ole Miss 52-3. Oregon beats Boise State 37-34, and that was a real close one there. Bowling Green loses to Penn State 34-27. Missouri beats Buffalo 38-0. Now we come in number 11, Utah beats Baylor. Now that was a Big 12 game there, 23-12. Up next, Miami, number 12, beats Florida A&M 56-9. Utah State loses to USC 48-0. Next we have 14, Tennessee, who beats 24, North Carolina State 51-10. Houston loses to OU, number 15, 12-16.
Take his time. This is what you can't do is rush this. Take your time, stay low, and then burst into the open field. Great play call and a great disguise from tight end Jake Roberts.
And I must say, I wasn't pleased with that game. And if Jackson Arnold doesn't step his game up, the next guy's got to come in to move the offense because they were stagnated. They did not look like the OU that we should be looking at. Even though we know they have a young team, but now they're in the SEC, and people have always said the SEC, that's the big boys. That's the powerhouse conference of the whole nation on a consistent basis. And there may be some truth to that. But OU has got to step up their game. We cannot have, and I say we because I am an OU fan. I'm in Big 12 in Oklahoma. But the thing is, we cannot have another game like that. Because if they're not moving the ball with all those top receivers that they have, they're going to change quarterbacks. And that young freshman that they have, he's a top-tier quarterback coming out of high school. He looks really good, really, really good. But we'll see. And next we have Oklahoma State, who defeated Arkansas 39-31. And, you know, it's like they tried to give that game away. A lot of terrible mistakes. Terrible.
We'll see if he gets some touches here inside the 15. Pitch to Gordon, running left to the 10. Gordon to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Bowman to the air with time. Throws end zone, caught for 2 points, and it's Ollie Gordon. They're going to run it anyway. Hill is hit. Second effort. No! Oklahoma State holds up at the line of scrimmage.
The guy, you know, it makes no sense for you up ahead, and the game could have been over a long time ago, and then the quarterback's going to go down on the sidelines taunting the whole sideline of Arkansas doing this number. I know Coach got in his behind, gave him some choice words, and made him have him run a little bit the next day in practice for such behaviors, because you can't allow that. You cannot have that happen, to lose on stupid penalties. And then, of course, we're looking at number 17, who played Tulane and beat them 34-27. Now, I got to tell you, Tulane's is a surpriser, and they're going to beat a lot of good teams along the way, so look out for them. Now we have LSU, who defeated Nichols 44-21. 19 Kansas loses to Illinois 23-17. Northern Arizona was defeated by Arizona, ranked number 20th, 22-10. Iowa State, another Big 12 product, beat Big 10 Iowa 20-19. Boy, that was a very close game. Then we have Louisville, ranked number 22, beats Jacksonville State 49-14. Then 23, Georgia Tech loses to Syracuse 28-31. Then Appalachian State is defeated by number 25, Clemson 66-20. Now that you've just seen this week's wrap-up of the top 25 Division I teams, hey, I hope your team won. But then again, if not, maybe your team showed promise. But we still got a long way to go, because this is just week 2 of football in the NCAA. And the great thing about all of this is there's no longer 4 teams to get into the playoffs, but there's 12. So who knows? That's more excitement and creates the opportunity for your team to possibly make it in and can still win the national championship. Robert Wilkins, a.k.a. BasketballTall. Stay tuned. Follow me. Sign up. Subscribe if you haven't. And also, press that like button, because that helps on the algorithm to be able to share it with others. Stay tuned, and I hope to see you right back here next week, next Sunday, for another wrap-up of the Top 25. Robert Wilkins, a.k.a. BasketballTall. See you next time.